Lord, I give you my heart. I give you my soul. I live for you alone. Every breath that I take, every moment I'm awake. Lord, have your way in me. Lord, I give you my heart. I give you my soul. I live for you alone. Every breath that I take, every moment I'm awake. Lord, have your way in me.
Let's bring back the glory to God as we pray. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Amen.
Father, and Son, and Holy Spirit. Good evening. Good evening to all.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. Thank you to
Evening.
Evening.
thank you, Brother Abet and Sister Ces, for leading us into our worship. Kung di nyo pala natatanong, no, si Brother Abet at si Sister Ces, they won the singing competition during our Baguio weekend.
Ate nanalo.
Yeah, si Aladdin at si Princess Jasmine.
Oo nga po.
Okay. So later, we have a surprise for you after our closing song. They will sing a song for us. Tama ba, bro? Bro Abet? Okay. So, after our closing song, please stay tuned. They will sing a song for us. Okay. So, sila yung nanalo ng ating Baguio weekend. Anyway, good evening again, brothers and sisters. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time, for devoting your time here and listening to our teaching in community. And tonight, we will hear the word of God again through our speaker. And but before that, just some few house rules. During the session, keep your microphone muted as not to distract others, especially the speaker. Second, make sure you are comfortable but not too comfortable. Baka po makatulog kayo, especially you're in a sofa na malambot. Okay, so hopefully, while we're listening to the talk, wala din po sanang nakahiga. Okay, so remember, this is a teaching of our community, and we should have proper posture in being here. Third, be aware of your camera. If it is on, everybody can see you. Make sure you look presentable. Okay, so if your camera is on, make sure that you look okay. Okay, and you look presentable. Next, if you have questions, you can send a message through the chat. Okay, and lastly, and very important, open your heart to the message of the Lord through our speaker. So tonight, we will be hearing the 11th session of our Foundation for Christian Living, entitled Faithfulness and Order. Okay, but before that, just a little bit of recap of our session last Tuesday, given by Tito Anton. So the title is Headship and Submission. He said that it's it is in every interpersonal relationship that we have. Okay, and it is necessary to have proper order in the body, whether in family or in our community. Okay. What else? So in the family, the headship and submission between husband and wife is likened to between Christ and his body. Husband is the head, but it is a sacrificial headship, like Jesus, who offered his body, his life for the church. And in MFC, heads ensure the essential of a member to be MFC, like attendance, the tithes, living out the covenant, but especially the holiness of the members. That's why correction is very important. Then headship and submission is a personal care bounded by love. In MFC, headship and submission is essential to attain our vision and mission. So tonight, our talk will be faithfulness and order, and our speaker joined the community in 1999. They got married in 1994. His wife's name is Sister Tonette. They have two children, Sachi and Ira. And their current service in MLC is area servant of NCR North. And his motto in service is, like in marriage, in good times and in bad, we always say yes to the Lord. So brothers and sisters, let's welcome our speaker tonight, Brother Allen Ducusin.
Hey,
Hey, can you
maraming
get the
salamat.
birthday clap?
Maraming salamat, Brother Jepoy. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Before I proceed, let me wish you a happy evening to those in the Philippines. By the way, I understand we have people zooming in from the US. Good morning from Canada. Also, good morning. Buonasera from Italy. Also from Ilocos Norte na imbag nga rabi iyo amin, Apo. I hope that you'll have a good time tonight by listening to the word of the Lord. I was given this talk for, it's almost done, no? Ilang araw na lang, tapos na tayo. Napakabilis. Parang this is quite exciting, but it's quite nerve-wracking kasi this is my first time to do the talk online. And this is international pala, no? And it's quite I'm quite nervous now, pero God will be here by my side to help me. So magandang gabi uulit sa inyo. Good evening, and I hope that you'll have something to take home. Nasa home naman pala kayo. To deep in your hearts to learn tonight whatever God has in store for us. So I'll be talking about faithfulness and order. So I'll share to you my slides. So just bear with that. Okay. So ulit po ako si Brother Allen Ducusin. I'm the area servant of North Area. By the way, my special greetings to all my brethren in the North Area. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Thank you for tuning in. And special greetings also to my household led by Brother Kokoy, Javier. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. So I'll be talking about faithfulness and order. Pero una, I would like to reintroduce my wife. Ito siya, yung naka-cap. She works with the United Nations. We've been married for 26 years already. And we have, we're blessed with two children, si Sachi and Ira. Both of them, by the way, are also members of the community. Si Sachi is working with the Smart Telecoms. She's a member of the singles section. Si Ira is also a member of community youth section siya, and he's transitioning to singles. So yan, family dedicated to the Lord, no, to the MFC. Okay, so let's start off by talking about Galatians 5 verse 22. Sabi niya, because we are to exhibit the fruit of the Spirit. No? Sabi sa Galatians, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Napakadami. If you are to ask yourselves, tayo ba? Nasaan tayo dyan? Pag matagal na tayo sa community, lalo magandang tanongin yan. Do I have self-control? Sa 10 years na ako sa community? Am I still struggling with my faithfulness, attending my meetings or activities in community? Meron pa rin ba akong struggles with peace? Ako ba'y laging nababalisa? So, we struggle, no? But ang sabi nga ng isang pastor that I had a chance to listen to him. Sabi niya, the gifts of the Spirit, dapat hindi tayo nag-struggle dito. It's like struggling to be patient. It's not supposed to be like that. The key is to have a surrendered, spirit-surrendered heart. Kung yung puso natin, nakasurrender na spirito yan. Like an apple tree, which normally bears apple fruits. A mango tree naturally bears mango fruits. Di ba ganon? Or a guava tree naturally bears guava fruit. Ganon daw yon pagka yung ating puso ay nakasuko sa ating banal na espiritu. But being Christians, we are being called to manifest these three important qualities as a Christian. Una, we should be generous. So one quality of a Christian now is generosity. I know for a fact that all of you might have or might know somebody who's very generous. Di ba? Marami tayo dito sa community. Sometimes when you don't experience that, parang napakahirap mapaniwalaan. Naghihirap na, nagbibigay pa. Dumudugo na, nagbibigay pa. May ganun ba tayo? Yes, we have a lot of brothers in community, sisters in community, families in community who are very generous. They are persons for others. But ang caution lang is we have to have wisdom then for this kind of quality because sometimes being open to everybody is not good also. Probably we are not being helpful. Napapaasa na lang sila. Umaasa na lang sila. Or sometimes being open to service, for example, so generous with our time, napapabayaan na natin iba. That is why it's very important also to have wisdom in this quality of a Christian by being generous. Okay, number 2 is faithfulness. May kilala ba kayong napaka-faithful? Yeah, I know of somebody. Sabi nga be like a rock. Para kang pader, no? Na nasasandalan. Napaka-reliable. Somebody who can be counted on. We know a lot of people like those in community. We have. One time when I was still a new household servant, there was an assembly in one of our parishes, and then our speaker was a very prominent figure in community. And nabalitaan namin na na-hospital siya. Sabi namin, ako, wala, hindi na yun. But to our surprise, he arrived with his strap on his wrist. Nakalagay pa. Mukhang galing talaga sa hospital. And that was wow. And that was really inspiring, mga kapatid. How faithful this man to the Lord by sacrificing his time. Unhealthy as he was there, honoring our invitation. And that was no less than our servant general, Brother Frank Padilla, honoring our invitation to give a talk during our assembly. Like a rock, very reliable, was very faithful. I know you know people like that in your areas also. For us to be able to serve God then, we need peace. Peace is good order. If you have order in your life, you can have focus and you can serve the Lord. Without peace, you can never serve the Lord in the way that He wants us to serve Him. Naniniwala kayo doon? Do you know anybody who is not very peaceful, wreck ng buhay, and is not able to serve the Lord? Syempre. So, generosity, faithfulness, peace, good order in your life. So, the daily order is that the modern time is presenting to us the problem of having infinite possibilities. Kahit saan ka magpunta, lalo yung mga nagtatrabaho sa inyo, yung may mga negosyo, napakadaming bumabagabag sa atin. The world is very noisy. We are so caught up with so many things. The internet makes us so busy. Netflix make us busy. No? Napakadami. A lot of things. Maingay, napakahirap. So, it presents to us a lot of infinite possibilities. We keep on deciding all the time, making a choice all the time. Di ba? Napakahirap. So, iyan ay nagdudulot sa atin ng kaguluhan. It makes us go with the flow. Siyempre kung ano uso, nandun kasi napakadaming kaguluhan. No? So hindi natin alam kung anong gagawin. But we are controlled and led by circumstances. So napakahirap mga kapatid. I know that you can share with this kind of situation nowadays where we have a lot of options. We have a lot of things going on. Ang hirap na tuloy mag-commit. Imbes na ayos na yung relationship mo, ito na naman, napakadami, napakabilis kasi. And ito na naman, merong iba na naman coming into your life. Pag mga singles, they change your mind. No commitment at all. So we're controlled and led by circumstances. Okay? So what is the solution to this, mga kapatid? The solution is we have to order our daily lives. What do we mean by order our daily lives? It is, first, there are things kasi that are beyond our control. No? Yung wala ba sa ating mga kamay yung mga bagay-bagay. So, of course, there are also things that are under our control. So what do we do? Sometimes kasi we believe in God's plan, right? But then there will be accidents. There will be things that will happen to us na masakit sa atin. So what do we do? But we know that if we believe in God's plan, then of course the things that we don't have control over, we just bring it to the Lord and say, I accept, Lord, it's your will, and your will be done. That is true faith, mga kapatid, di ba? But how about the things that we are able to control? Like being faithful to your households, being faithful to attending the assemblies in your chapters, by your being able to control your schedule at work and going to anniversaries and other community gatherings. Then you offer this to the Lord because this is part of His plan, because it is through this faithfulness that we serve Him. Diba? Kontrolado natin yan. So we have to offer it to the Lord. So it is part of God's plan. But overall, God is in control. But for those that we can't, we offer it to the Lord and accept it that it's part of His plan. Sabi nga ni Servant General, God allows bad things to happen in our lives for His own purposes. Hindi natin alam. It's only Him who knows it. And we offer it to the Lord. Okay? Okay, next. Some tips how to make your lives in an orderly manner. You make a short list of priorities. Napakadami po nun. Meron sa simbahan, meron sa community, yung career nyo, sa work, may family, may love life for the singles. No? Sometimes meron tayong health issues at kadalasan money issues, di ba? Madalas yan. So, how do we manage all these things and still we're focused to serving the Lord? Yun naman tayo, di ba? Ang premise is we're all here. We want to serve the Lord in the way that He wants us. But sa ingay na nandyan sa atin, how? So, order is peace, di ba? So, we want to shortlist our priorities. Una siguro, let's look at the family, no? There are 5 major areas kasi na sinasabi. Family, the MFC, we have the church, and we have also yung work. Of course, hindi lang lahat community and church, hindi lang lahat pray ng pray, because we have our families to sustain. So we have work. And then, we have some personal things. Of course, we have our social lives. Paano yon? These are just a few of the many things that we have. Gusto nating magbakasyon, gusto nating mag-exercise, gumanda yung katawan natin, etc. But we have to list down what is essential to us. Lalo ngayon mga kapatid, mga panahon na ito, we are now in lockdown for so many weeks already, and we have the chance to look at the essential things. I know you realize that already, di ba? So now, what do you do is make an organizer, a calendar of activities. Pwedeng weekly ito, pwedeng medium term, pwedeng long term. But the most important thing is you have something written down to get things in order. Okay? Dapat hindi nagbaga-bangga. When things get entangled, there is no order in your lives. Okay? So better do a calendar. It takes time to practice it. to perfect through practice. So kailangan yan. Yung mga nag-opisina, walang problema dito kasi medyo nasanay. But yung iba na hindi naman nasanay nagka-calendar, so you have to do that in order to be effective. As we grow, mga kapatid, in community, no, as we mature, of course, we have to give up so many things. We have to overhaul our lives. We need to make changes in our lives. Now, sabi nga kailangan complete changeover. If I may share, nung kabataan ko lang din, married na rin kami nito net, I did a lot of things that the normal guy would do. No? We go to places that are not acceptable na sa atin ngayon. Alam mo yun, yung happy times. We do that. When we're now in community, of course, these things were taken out of my system already. Ganyan talaga. These are the elements that are to be considered. No? We have to get rid of those bad habits. We put priorities in the things that are essential so that we put more order in our daily schedule. Okay? So, tignan natin habang nagmamature na tayo, makikita natin. Hindi dapat yung ating level of spirituality is going down, but it should be going up. No? So, we change the things that are not of the Lord. Okay? So, what are the principles that we should follow? Of course, in all these things, God should be above all. No? Dapat siyang nangingibabaw. Siya yung first. Sabi nga sa Matthew 13, no? Doon sa parable of the hidden treasure, if I may read, the kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. Diba? Nakita niya yung, na-discover niya. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought the field. Binenta niya lahat. Because na-discover niya yung treasure ng Panginoon na dyan na lang nahanap. So, that's letting go of many things, our comforts, all the things that make us happy, the material things. We have to let that go because God is the priority, di ba? And we need to trust Him. Minsan kasi, takot tayo . Anxiety is the enemy. No? Anxiety is the enemy. Nako, hindi pwede. Baka masacrifice yung trabaho, mawalan ako ng trabaho, paano kami kakain? And Matthew 6:25 to 33 assures us that God says, don't worry. Huwag ka mag-alala. Si God ang bahala sa'yo. Just make Him first and He does the rest, di ba? Above all things. But, it is also a principle that with the so many things that we need to do, God is first. Don't worry about the provision. Kung sasabihin natin Matthew 6, don't worry about the things that you will eat, your body, what you will wear, but because He will provide. Yung ibon nga daw, hindi naman naghahasik yan, di ba? But He provides. Everything is provided for. Ano ka pa na mas mahal ka niya? Niyang nilalang is, we are His favorite. So He will provide and don't worry. This is the verse na talagang sinasandigan namin nito net because time and again, God proves it that when you trust Him, He will provide always. So, but as I said, with the so many things that we are doing, we have the right balance. No? Paano natin titingnan? Another important activity or another important aspect of our lives cannot be compromised. Lagi kang nagsiservice, lagi ka nasa church, but your family is left behind. Hindi yun ang gusto ng Panginoon. O gusto niya pray na ka ng pray, pero wala ka naman pakialam sa ibang bagay. Work ka ng work, okay, very successful, promoted ka every year, but to the detriment of your prayer life. So there will be a principle of right balancing the most important activities in our lives. Okay? Now, next is, MFC is a high priority for us. Do you believe that? Or do you treat MFC as a priority? When we entered and we signed up being members of community, we entered into a covenant with the Lord. Solemnly, freely, voluntarily, di ba? So we have to honor that. How? Of course, we have to be faithful. Because God, being a faithful God, He honors that covenant. Alam niyo ba yung mga covenant natin? Of course, we promise to pray, we promise to study, we promise to be service and be in fellowship with other members of the community, etc. We have to be faithful with this covenant. Kasi ang Panginoon, kailan ka hindi blines ni Lord? Naging unfaithful ka, admit it, but God has always been faithful. Nagkaroon ka ng financial problem, but God has always been faithful. He provided. Hindi ka naman namatay sa gutom, di ba? Hindi naman nawala yung anak mo sa eskwelahan. You had your problems. Nag-away kayo ng asawa nyo to the point of getting separated, but He was faithful. Pinagbalik niya kayo. Ganon din yun sa amin. No? Maraming beses tayo nangailangan. Yung mga anak namin nagkaroon ng issues about their health. No? Our son, we took him out of a good school because we did not believe that the system worked, na-address yung issues niya. And we had to take him out. Hindi na apektuhan yung service namin. We remained faithful and He remained faithful to us. He blessed us. Now our son, being the child na tinanggal namin doon sa good school na yun, is almost an architect. No? Naipas niya na yung kanyang thesis. It was accepted. And praise God that He was faithful to us. So, we honor this covenant with the Lord. Ito yung part na kailangan natin bigyan ng pansin. MFC is a high priority because it is a primary help to us. Nung tayo bago pa, tayo ba'y si Lord ang first? No. MFC was the way so that the Lord became first in our lives. Tama ba? Di ba? Hindi naman siya naging first. Of course, siguro yung iba talagang nung bata pa talagang na-mold na ganun. But for most of us, members, through the MFC, made a way for the Lord to be first in our lives. Totoo po yun. So also the MFC was a way for us to grow in holiness. Ako, hindi naman ako paladasal dati. But ngayon, I've grown in prayer. Every day, pray. Hindi pwedeng hindi mag-pray every day. We always lift to the Lord all the concerns that we have. Always seeking His wisdom in the morning. Lord, I'm going out. I have work. I seek your wisdom. So we grow in holiness and righteousness. Saan tanggaling to? Not with my own self or with my wife, but with MFC, with the formation tracks that we have in the households. That's where we get it. And the fruit of the Spirit, dyan natin nakuha yun because the MFC molded us. It is also a way to learn other priorities. Yung pag-take care sa family, hindi lang yung MFC, but we also participate in the life of the church. Kami nga, wala akong kaalam-alam sa church. And now, when I was a chapter servant, we were part of the PPC. Malay ko yan nung araw. No? I don't know it. But because of the MFC, we were able to participate in the life and mission of the church. And of course, by care of the family, we have to bring also our children to the community. Now, because we treat MFC as a high priority, we build our personal and family lives around the community. Kung titingnan natin yung nasa screen, MFC is in the middle. So it has become that already in our lives. Lahat ng family activities namin, when we go on a trip, we have to look for schedules. Babangga ba ito sa MFC activities? Hindi, no? So if we have other personal activities, like friends would invite us to coffee, for example, or some dinner, we look at the schedule of MFC. We have a meeting. Sorry, we cannot. So it revolves around the life in MFC. Even work, mga kapatid. Work is a very important part because this is something that you are accountable of, something that work is given to you and it sustains your family. But we work around it. Nung araw, kahit weekend, I'm out of my house, in the field, in the provinces. I just go home to change bags and my wife would complain, ano ba, apartment pa ito, palit ka na naman ng bag. That was before MFC, before the community. But we worked around it because we grow in maturity and MFC became the center of our lives. Even career, mga kapatid. No? When my wife and I talk about career, we consider what will happen to our service if we go, say, you go to Geneva, for example, because she works with the UN and she has opportunities for advancement. And these things we consider rin the community. Siguro masyado na ako madaming sinasabi. But let me pause from here and I will invite you to a quiz. Brother Jepoy, how can I return to the normal view? Brother Jepoy,
Stop sharing. You can
stop
the
sharing. Stop
Or,
sharing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yan. Yan. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you have a thumbs up? Kasi masyado akong thumbs up. Yeah. I would like to invite you to a quiz. No. I will. Okay. I will share a slide, and then again. Wait. Let's have a game. Mabilis lang ito. Tapos, let me share. Okay. Nakikita niyo pa ba? Yan. Let's test your faithfulness. Pinag-uusapan natin faithfulness di ba? Attend tayo ng ganito. So, meron tayong first prize no na ipapamigay tayo. This is a voucher, a gift voucher for a one-night accommodation sa Makati Diamond Hotel. Makati Diamond. So it's a studio room with breakfast for two. So don't worry, ang expiration nito sa June 30 pa naman. Pero dahil extraordinary times, baka pwede pa nila extend kung hindi pa tayo ma-out of ECQ. So if you get this right, you get to be awarded of this privilege to stay in Makati Diamond Suites for one night with your spouse. May free breakfast po ito. Okay? So may second and third prize din po sa Makati Diamond din galing, gift vouchers worth 1,500 worth of vouchers para sa second and third. So paano mananalo? Ito po yun. Yung next natin, you supply the correct information. Okay? Okay, ito. Yan. Yan. Okay? So we have the years. We celebrate our anniversaries. We celebrate yung ating mga sa simula ng taon. Meron tayong theme dyan, di ba? Binibigay ng ating SG. So sa this year, built on rock. Siyempre, hindi ko tatanungin yon kasi bonus na yon. But you will have to find out, recall, ano yung mga theme natin 2013, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Paunahan po kayo mag-text, send through chat dito sa ating Zoom. Pabilis, ilagay nyo kompleto dapat, and then whoever sends the first correct answers will get the voucher. Okay? Okay? So, yon. Paano kung hindi natama lahat? Siyempre, yung una na pinakamadaming tama will get the first prize. Then second and third and so on. Alright? So, yon. So, I'll go back na. Is it alright? Can you do it? Now, brethren in the United States or out of the Philippines, when you win, of course, you cannot enjoy the privilege of staying there. It is a very nice hotel, but mamili na lang kayo kung sinong pagbibigyan ninyo. I-bless nyo sila by donating that to them na mag-asawa sila. Okay? So I hope that you enjoy the quiz and hope that you get the right answer. Padali lang po naman yun. That's a test of your faithfulness. Uma-attend ba tayo ng mga anniversaries o yung mga leadership conferences in Baguio, that alam natin yun. Okay? So I'll continue with my slide. A few more slides. Please bear with me. So yun. Kanina, we were talking about how our lives revolve around community and all the things that we do is dependent on what the priorities of the community is. That's how it is now, mga kapatid. We are now running 20 years in community and that's how it is already. Kung wala pa tayo dyan, don't worry because you'll grow in maturity soon. Just pray for that. Okay? So yon. There are other aspects of faithfulness in order. Ito medyo mahaba to, but I'll just have to make a rundown of the things that you need to recall, no, about our faithfulness in community. Attendance to meetings, mga kapatid. This is part of our covenant, di ba? It is very necessary. Kailangan natin itong seryosohin because this is where we grow. This is where we receive guidance. This is where we receive pastoral formation. We cannot do without this if we intend to grow in maturity, no, in our spiritual lives. You have to attend meetings, no? Hindi lang pwedeng mag-excuse ka lang by yourself without telling your household servant na hindi ka attend because you have a very important matter to attend to. Of course, wala namang hindi pwede mag-absent because there will be things that are beyond us and excusable naman. Just say that you cannot. And it is our responsibility. No? Inform our leaders about it. In fact, yung host nga, you have to be, no? You have to tell them kasi nag-prepare din yung mga yon. They prepare for everybody and yet hindi ka pupunta, hindi ka nagsabi. Of course, sobra. That will be a waste. No? And sometimes, mga kapatid, we pray, di ba? You see people asking for blessing. Sana Panginoon, lalo yung mga nagsisimula, sana Panginoon, my husband will be able to find a job. Sana Panginoon, ma-promote yung aking asawa so that we can serve you more powerfully with the resources that we will be able to have. Na-promote, nagkaroon ng trabaho, what happened? Hindi na umattend because na-busy na sa work. Ay kasi Brad na-promote eh. Ang daming pinagagawa. We are making the blessing of the Lord an excuse to our unfaithfulness. Di ba? Hindi tama yun. When we honor God by our right priorities, He will bless us, mga kapatid. So don't make it as an excuse. Blines niya tayo pero ginamit pa natin. And let us pray for the Lord to bless these activities of ours, our priorities. Ipagdasal natin ito because it is only God who can help us. The Spirit will help us. Okay? It is also faithfulness when we do punctuality, no? We observe punctuality in our meetings. Mga kapatid, don't take that for granted, but sometimes guilty kami doon because madalas din kami malate. But this is a reminder to all of us that it is a respect to others, it is faithfulness when we attend our meetings on time because a lot of our brothers attend their meetings on time, di ba? So just try because it's a part of growing up in maturity. Of course, we have a lot of late nights in community. Marami tayong meetings. We have upper household, night outs natin sa pamilya because we have meetings sa lower household. Meron tayong assemblies. We have engagement din sa service. Sa magtutalk tayo sa CLS o sa LCS. So ito yung mga gabi na wala tayo. So we have to just order things so that we can manage our time not to the detriment of another essential activity in our lives. Okay? And next is, maiksi na lang to, service. Marami pong lugar sa community natin na pwede tayo mag-serve. Okay? In the CLS, pwede tayo mag-serve dyan. In the LCS, pwede rin. By giving talks to the LCS, pwede rin yan. So, there are a lot of avenues where we can show and we can do service, no? By showing our faithfulness to the Lord. And finally, there are other considerations. Mga kapatid, it is often necessary to cut back on some of our activities. Di ba? Marami tayong ginagawa sa work. Of course, we have to balance. Marami ding invitation. Of course, we have to balance. Marami tayong play. Of course, we have to balance it. Marami din tayong pangailangan na hindi lang tayo mag-isa, no? We have to always get the wisdom of our leaders. Kasama po 'yon sa growing, no, in our spiritual life. We have to look at them as somebody who can guide us, who can give us tips on how to grow and how to do our service. and many more. No, we try to do all these things. Minsan we lose our friends because of this community, but kung titimbangin natin, yeah, I have to do this and I have to let go of some friends because this is more important. Of course, it's not keeping me from being friends with them, but mas mahalaga ito, so I stick with it. So you lose a lot of friends sometimes. Ganun ba nangyayari din? We have that experience din. Of course, my family nga din. I get to see them less than before because I'm more focused on the community. So, mga kapatid, in conclusion, no, we have to and we need to order our lives so that our life would be at peace. Kung maayos, may kapayapaan. Pag may kaguluhan, may mga problema, may mga kasalanan, hindi mapayapa. We cannot serve the Lord in the way that He wants us to serve. Hindi natin naasikaso o we neglect the more important elements of our lives. That is why we need order in our lives by following the principles and the considerations that I mentioned kanina. We did that with my wife. Marami rin kaming inayos sa buhay namin. Of course, with our activities, with our priorities, etc. And let us be faithful to God, to God's call, and our covenant. Ito lang naman yung tawag niya sa atin. If we really want to grow in holiness with the Lord, we have to follow. We have to be faithful. Kahit masakit. Mga kapatid, following God is not easy. We have a lot of sacrifices, but we will never experience the joy if we don't do it. We have to sacrifice really. Marami tayong ganitong gawain. My prayer is that all of us, amidst all these things, we realize the more essentials in our lives. Okay? And we realize that God is above all things. And the community is a way to many beautiful things in our lives and our families. So, that is no-brainer. Kumbaga, bakit tayo pupunta sa kabila kung ito ang nagdadala sa atin ng kaligtasan, right? So, it is my prayer that all of us will sleep tonight with that peace of mind, because we have order in our lives. We know that God will always provide no matter what, diba, mga kapatid? So with that, I would like to honor you by spending time to listen to this talk. I know that God is blessing us right now because amidst all these difficulties, you opted to listen, to zoom into this series, not Netflix, not the other online na sites. Okay? With that, maraming salamat and may God be praised.
Okay, thank you, Tito Allen, for that very wonderful, inspiring talk. Can we give Tito Allen a virtual clap? Yan. Okay.
May nanalo ba? May nanalo ba?
Meron pa po bang nanalo? What's the answer, Tito Allen?
Ha?
Ano po yung sagot? So,
okay.
2013.
Let's go back to the presentation kanina.
Okay.
Babalik tayo para lang sabihin nyo nagsisinungaling ako. Ito, I'll show you. Yan. Ang sagot sa 2013, faith works wonders. May nakatama ba?
2013, faith works wonders. Yeah.
Okay, 2014, empowered to witness.
Okay, empowered to witness.
2015, look at Jesus. Look to the poor.
Okay, look at Jesus. Look at the poor. Tama ba?
Look to the poor yata. Look to the poor.
To ba or at?
Look to the poor.
Oh.
Okay na rin. Tanggapin natin kung at o to.
Look to the poor. Look at Jesus. Look to the poor.
2016, rich in mercy.
Yeah, rich in mercy. Hindi po mercy abounds. Title po
Ayun.
ng conference yun.
2017, One in Christ. Yon.
One in Christ. Hindi po sent as one. Title din
Oh.
po ng conference yun.
So what we will do, Brother Jepoy, the first one who got the most correct answers will get the voucher. If you are an international member, please be gracious to be generous. Practice your teaching tonight. Be generous and donate to one brother a couple in the Philippines so that they can enjoy. Dito
Okay.
siguro sa Manila, no? So, kung walang mananalo, merong paglalagyan yan sa household namin, Kuya Jepoy.
Okay.
Kasi may mga nag-a-anniversary sa household namin.
Sino pong nanalo? Can you check the chat?
Jose Ibarra Pabello Villas.
Sa Facebook?
Yes. Facebook. Kasi nilitratuhan ko.
Si Joe, ayun ah.
Jose
So,
Ibarra
yung-
Pabello Villas. Here is the
Okay,
answer.
yeah, okay. So, according to Tita Emmy, no, si Joe ay daw sa Facebook.
So,
Yes.
ay, congratulations. That's
Yeah.
it.
Pinicturan ko kasi.
Really? Oh.
No, I won.
See, I told you.
Joy, you won? Joy?
Okay, yeah. According to Tita Emmy.
Here is the answer. 2013, Faith Works in Wonders. 2014, Empowered to Witness. 2015, Look to Jesus.
Look to
2016,
Jesus.
yes. 2016, Rich and Mercy. Yan, wala. Teka muna. Tapos, 2017, One in Christ. Jose
Okay.
Ibarra Pabello Villas.
Okay, so this is the voucher. Let me just show you. There.
Wait
Bro,
lang,
tingnan
Tita.
mo yung ibang answer, bro. Baka ma-consider.
Okay, so we still have two more. I think we have two more vouchers. Ito yan. For the
That's for meal, no? Okay, meal. 1,000
yes,
worth
for the
of food.
second and third, we still have two. So we have
Okay,
to check
so who
also.
are the runner-ups?
Sino kaya ito? Jose Ibarra Pabello Villas.
Okay.
Okay, congratulations to the winners. I will have to give the vouchers to Tito Jepoy. Doon nyo sa kanya i-claim.
Brother Jepoy, may sub form ba to?
May?
May sub form ba?
Four.
Check mo yung answer ko, bro. Baka tama.
Okay. Zoom will give us yung transcript ng chat, then we will check yung timestamp. Okay. Anyway, can we give another virtual clap to Tito Allen for this talk? Very important din in our life in community that there should be order and faithfulness, especially in our meetings, in the life as a community, and we should prioritize yung time natin with God, with our family, and of course with the community. Okay? So, just a recap lang of the talk ba kasi nag-focus na sa konti yung iba. Okay, so sabi ni Tito Allen, we are to exhibit the fruit of the Spirit, and he mentioned the three qualities of a Christian. Dapat merong generosity, faithfulness, and peace. There should be good order. The world has many influences. Some are negative that can take us away from God. So the solution, we should have order in our lives. Okay, and he mentioned just some practical means on how to do it, like having short list of our priorities, calendar, And what's the principle of having order in our lives? We should put God above first. Okay? And he mentioned a very important point that MFC is a high priority because it is a big help for us in prioritizing God. Okay? And we should also value our attendance and service in community. And he concluded by saying, God will give peace when there is order. So kapag wala pong order yung buhay natin, there will be chaos. We cannot prioritize things that are important, and we cannot serve God fully. Okay, so that there should be faithfulness and order in our lives for the community. So thank you, Tito Allen, for that talk. Just a few reminders, announcements, brothers and sisters. Again, on May 30, we'll have our new evangelization conference, and it will be online. So start promoting it to your friends who are not members of our community. It's open for all. There will be talks before the main event, 1 week before the event. Okay, so meron po tayong mga sessions from the different pillars, and the main event will be on May 30. Okay, next. Again, we have already released the May 2020 household topics. Just go to our website. Also, our young couples date night topic is now available. Okay? According to Brother Dylan, hindi lang daw to pang young couples, pwede rin daw po for everyone na merong i-date.
Yeah. Pwede yan.
Basta may i-date, no, bro?
Oh, mahirap gamitin yan pag wala kang kadate.
Okay, next. Okay, NFC handmaids, sumayaw sumunod. Okay, they will be having an online assembly on May 15. So that's next Friday. Okay, Friday next week, 2 p.m. via Zoom and Facebook Live. Speaker is Ate Chepe, Paalam, Sampayan. Okay, very important reminder, make sure to wear your favorite red lipstick. Okay? Paano po pag brother yung umaten? Kailangan po ba mag-lipstick?
Nako, delikado tayo dyan, bro!
Okay? So that's our announcement for this week. See you next Saturday for our last session of our Foundations for Christian Living. And the title is Unity in Christ. So last session na po natin on Saturday. And let's see one another. Okay? Can we give the Lord a virtual clap? Okay, and let's just have our closing prayer. Oh, but after the closing prayer and closing song, yung music min natin will give us a special number. So please stay. Okay? Okay, let's come before God. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, Amen. Lord, we praise and thank you once again, Lord, for the special moment that you've given us, special time to hear again your words through your speaker, Tito Allen. Thank you for using him powerfully so that we will realize, Lord God, that faithfulness and order is important, Lord, in our Christian life, especially in community, in MFC. As only if there's order in our lives that we can serve you well, we can serve our brothers and sisters well. Allow us, Lord God, to have order in our lives, prioritizing, Lord God, the things that are really important, so that we can really work our time, Lord God, in serving you and serving other people. Lord, may we devote all our time to you. May we use that time, Lord, to glorify you more, and people will see, Lord God, how good and how great you are in their lives. Lord, continue to protect us in this time of pandemic. Keep us safe and healthy always. Also protect our loved ones, our brothers and sisters in community. So brothers and sisters, let's have our closing song. This is how we overcome.
Your light bright through my night, stored exceeding joy. Your grace felt like the rain and made this have to say. You have turned my morning into dancing. You have turned my sorrow into joy. You have turned my morning into dancing. You have turned my sorrow into joy. This is how we overcome. 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 You have turned my morning into dancing. You have turned my sorrow into joy. You have turned my morning into dancing. You have turned my sorrow into joy.
Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Oh, glory to the Father, to the Son, to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, now and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Good evening, brothers and sisters.
Evening.
Okay,
Good
meron
evening
po
po.
tayong special number
Yun! Ang hinihintay natin!
from Aladdin and Princess Jasmine.
No, kulitan portion.
Okay, ito na yung yung nanalo sa ating singing contest. Yung bagong leader.
Tama.
Okay.
Okay, here goes, mga kapatid.
Yan!
Okay, ating winner ng ating couple singing contest.
Yan. Kung na-miss niyo yung Baguio, ito na po. Ito na po yung kinanta nila.
Naharangan yung camera.
Ay, maraming. Sorry.
I can show you the world, shining, shining, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new and you can pass the you. No one can tell us now where to go. The Savior only dream. Now I'm in holy world.
Indescribable feeling, so entirely over an endless garden.
Just the day gets slow. When the day gets better.
I can't go back to where I used to be. Every tune I sing, every moment that matter, I choose to know. Let's not stay. Let me share this morning with you.
That's what we tell.
Kiss, kiss!
Yan! Kiss naman dyan! Leo! Champion!
Thank you po.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank.
Galing, galing.